Hey family, so the next command, or I should say commands, that God give us is the 10 commandments, okay? The first one says, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery, okay? So that first command is he wants you to know who he is. He's saying, I am your Savior, your one and only Savior. I am the one who saved you from Egypt. I am the one that brought you out of slavery. I want you to know who I am, okay? And it says, I am the Lord, okay? He's known as Yahweh, Jehovah, right? Elohim, the Lord of spirits. But most importantly, he tell us to call him the God of Israel, the God of our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, right? And Israel. He said that is how we should refer him, okay? And then two, it says, you shall have no other gods before me, lowercase g, okay? These gods that he's talking about are fallen angels, okay, that he gave power to do their job, right? And when they fail, they took that knowledge of that power God gave them to do their job and started telling humans that they were gods, but they wasn't, okay? He said you shouldn't put none of them, nobody is bigger than him. Nobody is more important than him. Nobody should come before him, okay? 3, you shall not make for yourself an image in any form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sins of the parents to the 3rd and 4th generation of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commands, okay? So these statues that you're making and bowing down to and worshiping, it don't matter what it's an image of. If you're making it with your own hands and you're bowing down to it, it is a sin, okay? Next one. You shall not misuse the name of your Lord, the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses his name, okay? Don't be just using his name all willy-nilly, right? Don't be lying on his name, right? That's what he said. Don't be misusing his name, because he will hold you accountable, okay? Next one. Remember the Sabbath. We've talked about this many times, how important the Sabbath is. He letting you know how important it is by putting it in the 10 commandments, okay? Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall do labor and do all your works. But on the seventh day is a Sabbath day. It's the Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male or female servant, nor your animals, nor any foreigner residing in your town. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, but he rested on the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Okay? And like I said before, the Sabbath is non-negotiable. You can't choose which day you want to do it on. He said the 7th day of the week, the Sabbath, which is Saturday. Sunday is the first day of the week. Saturday is the last day of the week. Okay? It was always done on the Saturday until later on the Catholic Church changed it to Sunday. Okay? Next one. Honor your father and your mother so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. Okay? Honor them. Respect them. But doesn't mean, you should let your parents abuse you. Okay? There's a difference between honoring your parents and parents that, are abusive in any kind of way. Okay? Allowing them to abuse you is not good. Okay? But if you have good parents that's taking care of you, God said honor them, like help them, do right by your parents, right? You should want to do for your parents the way they did for you if they, a good parent, right? We're not talking about these abusive parents, okay? It's a difference. You gotta learn the difference, okay? Next one. You shall not murder, okay? When God say murder, is that of a innocent person. Like you're just plotting on somebody to kill them for no reason, right? There's times in the Bible that God gives people like, I don't want to say opportunity, but he tells them to put somebody to death that's done some wrongdoing. Like if they kill somebody in your family, or if they did something that he says put them to death. Okay, that's not committing murder, right? Committing murder is plotting on somebody and killing them just because you jealous or envious of them, or you want something that they have. That's what you should not be doing, okay? The next one is you shall not commit adultery, okay? Adultery is cheating on your spouse. And in Leviticus, if you're cheating on your spouse, that's one of the things God tell you to put the person to death, okay? A man sleeping with a man, he said put them to death, right? A person sleeping with an animal, you put them to death, okay? So God is telling us not to do certain things, right? Because it leads to either death or some kind of pain, and he's trying to keep the peace. God is all about keeping the peace, okay? You shall not steal, right? Don't be taking people's stuff if it don't belong to you, okay? And it's a difference between going in somebody's house and taking something and then just finding something on the road. You know what I'm saying? That's not stealing. You found it, right? Next one, you should not give false testimony against your neighbor. So God is saying, don't be lying on people. Don't be going out here telling lies about somebody that ain't true. But people do that all the time. And it usually it goes back to being envious or jealousy that they're lying on somebody, right? The next one is, the last one is, you shall not covet your neighbor's house. You should not covet your neighbor's wife or his male or female servants, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor, okay? Meaning, don't be going over there trying to, like, take over somebody else's stuff, right? Don't be trying to sweet talk your way into your neighbor's wife's bed. Don't be trying to take over his house and all that other stuff. That's his. God will give you your own. That some people are not patient enough to wait for God to give them their own. They go and try to take somebody else's life that they had built because they don't have the patience and they don't have the determination to build their own life, right? So God said don't do that, okay? That is the 10 commandments. Those are kind of like the main commands and laws, right? Because from those 10, it kind of like branches off and covers everything else. Like everything falls underneath that, and he goes later on and start breaking things down and like in little smaller, more detail, because God is all about details, so that you won't be confused about anything, okay? So the 10 commandments, right? That is the next command that God gave us in following him, right? So that we can live a better life, so we can live a longer life, right? We could be blessed, because that's what he said. He said he's sending blessings to the ones that love him and follow his commands, right? If you're not following his laws and commands, you're being cursed, okay? So if somebody's not teaching you to follow God's laws and commands, they're cursing you and they don't care about you. All right? I love y'all. Have a great day.